How are you feeling about the President Trump?
That's a open-ended question. This whole fucking Iran thing, man. Like, did you see this coming?
No, definitely. I don't know. I mean, who did? When did he even decide? Their national security strategy they put out in November basically just said we've degraded their capacity. It's a win. There was no sense in which there would be additional action. I think it ushers in a new paradigm. Like the older post-war era is just over. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, articulated that at the World Economic Forum, probably better than the Trump administration did, saying very clearly that older rules-based order is gone. You saw AOC try to sort of articulate it, but she sort of fell apart at the Munich Security Conference in February. So this is an administration that is, and I don't even think they're thinking. I wrote a piece and I decided not to publish it because I was sort of like, decapitation doesn't really work for regime change, but it's not clear that they're really out for regime change or they're just asserting power, shaking up things. Some of it's art of the deal, changing the person that we're negotiating with. That's Venezuela and Iran. Is it really going to change those regimes? I don't think most people don't think so, but I'm not sure that that's what they're going for. They're just going for an assertion of American power in service of American interests. And then what happens in Iran, what happens in Venezuela, I don't think they care that much about. At least they're not behaving as though they do.
Well, neither thing made any sense to me. The Venezuela thing, look, they wanted him out forever. And he definitely stole the election to get in there in the first place, and he was a dictator. But at least that one was at least clean. They go in, kidnap him, get him out. This one's nuts. Like, in what's happening in Tel Aviv, it's hard to know what's real and what's not because there's a lot of fake video going around and a lot of weird posts on X. So it's, when I do peek in, it's hard to know, and you have to listen to Grok, and then Grok's dismantling a lot of the fake videos.
Mm-hmm. What are the fake videos that you're thinking
There's just
of
like
in Tel Aviv?
fake videos of, like an insane amount of bombs dropping down on the city. But it seems like there's a massive amount of destruction in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, I haven't checked in lately, but I'm assuming. Was that just today or?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the president is... There's been some, Rubio said something about how, we had to act because we knew that Israel was going to act anyway. And I think people interpreted it, and then Netanyahu was in the White House a lot. I think this president has shown, whether you like him or not, and there's certainly things that I'm unhappy about and have criticized. But I think Trump is in charge. Like, he's making these decisions. There's nobody behind him. There's nobody pulling for all of that. The Russians or whoever, or the Israelis. It's just he's clearly. Elon gave him, $250 million, and he still, he didn't give him even the electric car credit. Like Trump is in charge. I think that's one of the big lessons from this. And I think that means that there's not a lot of second order thinking here. Like, what's the move after that? He doesn't know. He's just acting. That's what's so wild about it, is that this older foreign policy establishment, which, was like, let the experts decide what the right foreign policy, all these think tanks, that's just gone now. It's just irrelevant in this presidency. And I don't think it'll come back. Like, if you get a Gavin Newsom or a President AOC,
President who?
I don't think,
real?
I think she, for a minute, before Munich, but I don't think it's going to come back. And I think that that's what the Prime Minister of Canada realized. I think that's what the Europeans are starting to realize, is that this is a completely different world that we live in than the one we lived in just a couple of years ago.
Which just doesn't make any sense to me unless we're acting on someone else's interests, like particularly Israel's interests. Just didn't make any sense to me. Like, if they had supposedly dismantled their chances of making a nuclear bomb, whether or not that's true, it's so hard to know.
He was unsatisfied, and just like he was like, I'm not getting anywhere in these negotiations, and I'm going to replace the person I'm negotiating with. It's just, turn over the table, like, change things up. You're not getting anywhere. And you could say he was too impatient. Their view was the Democrats were too patient with Iran. They kept trying with Iran. They weren't giving them what they wanted. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying I think that's what explains it. They haven't done a very good job explaining it, because I think that it just sounds to some extent like what it is, which is that they're acting without. They're sort of like, well, does it result in regime change in Iran? We don't know. They might say that we want that or whatever, but that's not ultimately. They're not acting on the basis of achieving regime change.
But just seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it.
Well, but he said he's against endless wars.
Well,
They're running against endless wars.
Listen, man, they're
So-
all endless.
Well, if
Did
we
you ever
put-
hear Rumsfeld talk about Iraq when it first happened?
Tell me.
They were talking about like 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
So, what, if anything, makes sense to you about this attack in Iran?
I don't know that I'm not sure what I think of it. I mean, I don't like it. I mean, the whole older system was that you had this international, the Security Council would have to agree. The Congress would have to agree. That's all gone now. I mean, it's just a totally different. This guy is just acting. He says he's not getting where they want to get in the negotiations with the Iranians. So he says, we have some leverage over you and we're going to use it. Similarly,
But clearly, Israel wanted this. For a
Israel
long
has its
time.
own motivations, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's not quite accurate to say that. I just don't think I think all the evidence shows that Trump is his own man and he is the president, and like literally he couldn't even give Elon the battery subsidy that he wanted. You know what I mean? It's like
I get that. but
I've never seen a politician act that independently. A president act that independently. So I'm skeptical of. I mean, I think that Rubio was sort of like, well, they were going to attack, and so we had to, there's some of that, but I just think Trump's doing what he wants to do, and we should.
You really think it's that simple? Trump's doing what he wants to do. And that's
Yes.
it?
Yes.
You don't think people are influencing him? Because there's a lot of war hawks around him, right? There's a lot of people that want this and
Tucker
have
was in
for a
there,
long
right?
time.
I mean, Netanyahu's in there, but then Tucker was in there a bunch.
But do you think
Making the case against it?
Tucker has the kind of influence that Netanyahu has?
Well, I mean, I guess if you just base it on the outcome, then the answer is no.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. I just think he listens to everybody, but I just don't think it's Russians aren't behind him. Israelis. I mean, Trump is. Look what he's been through. I mean, he's got where he is. There's no way he's gonna. They don't have anything on him. That's
How
my
do you know
view.
that?
I don't think they have anything on him.
But
'cause
how
he
do you
doesn't
know
behave
that?
way.
What do
Well,
you-
he
in
could,
what way?
but I'm not. We don't see any evidence for it.
Well, you wouldn't see any evidence until it broke out. Until
Sure.
they released it.
Yeah, and we'll get it. I'm sure we'll get into Epstein, but I mean, I just think when you don't have evidence of something, then you can't assume that it's happening. I haven't seen any evidence. I've seen evidence that Trump is fully independent. With it, particularly this case of Elon, surprised me. I would have thought at a minimum you'd give your largest campaign contributor the one thing he wants. I mean, Doge was something he wanted too, but. And then I look at Iran and I kind of go, Trump has always won. I mean, Trump has been criticized. He said he doesn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon for a really long time. I don't know the exact date, but certainly.
Well, no one wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon other than Iran.